This is Deep Insight, the inside story. Every week, one conversation. No noise, no propaganda, just facts, the power, and the people behind Nigeria's biggest stories. I call it Deep Insight, one conversation at a time. I'm Augustine Okiria Agbonsuremi. In January 2019, 1 month before presidential elections, President Buhari suspended Chief Justice Walter Onnoghen. Reason? A petition on false asset declaration filed against him at the Code of Conduct Tribunal. The petitioner, my guest today, Dennis Aghanya, Executive Secretary of Anti-Corruption and Research-Based Data Initiative, ARDI, and Anti-Corruption NGO. The fallout: Onnoghen lost his office. Nigeria judiciary was shaking, and 2 years later, the CCT cleared him of charges. For the first time on Deep Inside, Mr. Aghanya explains why he filed the petition, what he knew then versus what he knows now, and whether he was used or has he regrets. Mr. Dennis Aghanya, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you so much.
Now, we need to take a look at the events that pervaded the entire political and judiciary at that point in time. But let me first ask you, many people thought you were used to achieve a political objective. Did you think your petition was abused by the government, that they overreacted and took decisions that you never imagined were going to be taken?
Oh, thank you so much. I did everything possible to avoid getting involved in discussing this topic. But at a point, it will seem as if you're scared of something or you're not sure of what you did. That is why I decided to honor today's invitation to talk about this. I will avoid certain things because retired Justice Onnoghen, most of his benefits have been, restored back by the government. That's number one. The second point is, even before we delve into the major issue, how far have we fared as a country? Nigeria, the pace of development has been slowed down so much because of the obstacle corruption, causes. And it is on the basis of that our NGO, the Anti-Corruption and Research-Based Data Initiative, was even bettered in the first place. Because the fight against corruption, at a point, people see the security agencies, the constitutionally mandated agencies to fight corruption, as sole bodies to fight corruption in Nigeria. And that is where we get it wrong.
But your organization took the step on because you believed you were doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's where I'm heading to.
Yes.
Yeah. ARDI primarily is our activities are based on evidence-based, investigation, and which primarily is aimed at trying to enrich the process of fighting corruption. Why people share some of these views? Because everybody is entitled to his opinion. But I think it would be very wrong for us to be selective on the things we refer to as corruption. If it concerns you or the personality involved is a friend of yours or related to you in whichever way, you don't look at the merit of the accusation. You only look at, whether it is personal. Corruption should not be fought on personal basis. The fight against corruption should be fair. It shouldn't be motivated by either political affiliations or things of that nature. So having given this background, what we did as an anti-corruption organization whose activities are primarily based on evidence
that you can locate.
Evidence that you can locate. In course of our job, we don't identify either individuals or organizations as a target. We carry on with our job primarily, analyzing, investigating situations, and in course of your investigation, you could run into an issue like Justice Onnoghen's issue.
Let's go back to that period, 2018.
Yeah.
Did you think you found the sufficient evidence before you came out, or because so many people actually thought it was actually in the public space that you were being used?
Well, some people, had that opinion.
Were you being used?
At my age. And I want you to, it is not me, Dennis. It is the NGO.
Yes.
I'm the executive secretary of the NGO. A lot of people are involved. What we do, that was why I was trying to give you a background. Yes. We research, we carry out investigations, and come up with findings that are evidence-backed.
But Mr. Aghanya, you know why many people thought something was wrong was the closeness to election. The CJN had just been in the office for 2 years. What triggered the filing of the election just 30 days before the presidential election? And was the election a factor in your decision to file that petition?
That's a very, funny perception by whoever shares that view, because this particular issue was something the investigation that led to this was something we've been on for more than 1 year.
But it came so close to the election.
Yes, I'm coming. And what motivated, we choose issues we investigate on because of the perceived failure of judiciary in Nigeria. We were motivated to go into, that subject. And it was in course of that. Of course, when you are carrying out investigation, you stumble into things. And because of the Freedom of Information Act, there are issues we stumbled on, and we were able to request for some information from necessary security agencies. We got no facts. And let me tell you.
They cooperated with you?
In some cases, they didn't. They did it. But let me tell you, if you're carrying out investigation, sometimes you buy your information. We struggled.
Did you buy this information?
I'm just talking generally.
Yes. Did you buy this one?
What I'm saying is that to get information to work with, it's always difficult. Not only to such agencies. Just write request for any information from any organization in Nigeria. You see the way they will turn you. Sometimes we go to court to compel them to give us such information. And what I want to let Nigerians know today is that today you're looking at ARDI. Rather than, praise us for what we did, people are trying to fault what we did. The essence of it, because we have personal interest over something, and then we'll sit back and allow corruption. Let me tell you today, if you are involved in this, you will realize that most of these security agencies are complicit. Do you know why I put it that way?
No.
They do investigations. They come up with facts, but they will bury it for one reason or the other. So because we stumbled into this, and some of them wouldn't know, as at the time we were requesting for this information, they didn't know where we were heading to, didn't know what we were doing with it. All they know is that ARDI is a research-based, anti-corruption organization, of which is not only for prosecution, outcome of our investigations.
Well, you said at the beginning that it is not just you as an individual. They were so you are not alone in this organization.
No, I'm
there
not
are
alone.
many people involved.
No,
now,
of
now,
course.
now, the NBA, organizations like the NBA, called this, as well as some organizations, individuals said it was a framework by the Buhari administration to install a friendly CJ, Chief Justice of Nigeria, before the 2019 polls.
Can you recall the date or the period this incident took place? Let me tell you, the last time I saw Buhari, I had contact with Buhari. I cannot deny the fact. I was Buhari's former media spokesperson.
Yes.
Under the AMPP, the Buhari organization. Then when we formed the CPC, I was the Pioneer National Publicity Secretary. By 2011, we had squabbles in the CPC. And we parted ways. That was the last time I had contact with not just Buhari, with some other people close to him.
So it was not, what you are saying is that Buhari or his administration didn't use you?
How can somebody that was, even within our own clique, the former CPC, they were seeing me as, as an enemy because they said I had the guts to go to court against Buhari because I challenged Buhari in court because of certain things that happened within the CPC, and we felt it was not fair. So we went to court. So how can I? And after that, I never had the opportunity to have anything in common with Buhari. So it hurts me. Let me tell you. After that incident, I had a rethink about the fight against corruption in Nigeria. Because how can you accuse me when I know I'm serving the public? What we were doing was for the good of the public. Our concern was to ensure accountability amongst high-profile public officers and agencies, organizations.
Including the CGN.
Of course. I mean, nobody is above the law. That's a point you are not trying to get from me.
Yeah.
One of the major reasons, and that issue has persisted till date, that the major problem of Nigeria is that the judiciary is accused. And now we were able to, unravel things within the judiciary. Corruption is the fundamental reason why Nigeria is not moving forward.
Okay, let me take you to the conclusion that was reached by the CCT at the end of the day. The CCT didn't say Onnoghen was innocent. It simply said charges were defective from my own investigation and the reports at that time.
Yeah.
Onnoghen lost his office in 2019, lost a pension for a period of time and all the other allowances he was supposed to get. And his image was temporarily, or some persons would say permanently damaged because of the way he was removed from office. Have you called Onnoghen to apologize to him?
Why? Why the apology? Did the CCT say that the investigation, the outcome of our investigation that we forwarded to them was defective? Or has anybody cared to find out the outcome of that investigation that we forwarded to CCB that made them to prosecute Onnoghen? If anybody can come up today and challenge the genuineness of the outcome of our investigation, let that person do and let us see. You see, everybody is focusing on whether the CCB prosecuted Onnoghen or not. It's not an issue to us. The issue to us, which everybody should be concerned, is we carried out an investigation based with facts, evidence, and we forwarded it. It is the duty of CCB to decide what they will do with it.
So
and if they had not done what they did, maybe we would have taken steps further.
Now, are you disappointed that Onnoghen was cleared? Despite the evidence that you have?
No, why should I be disappointed? We didn't target Onnoghen as an individual. Our investigation was not targeted at Onnoghen as an individual. So that he was cleared or was not cleared shouldn't be a concern to us. What should be a concern to us is how functional our institutions, saddled with responsibility of fighting corruption. That's what we should be concerned with. If, like I told you, some of the information we stumbled on when we were, carrying out this investigation were things that clearly establish facts that even Onnoghen should have been prosecuted earlier before our involvement. But such agencies, security agencies, didn't do anything with. So they spent the taxpayers' money, carried out their own investigations, got, their facts. They still kept it. It was because we got involved, stumbled into those documents, that we were able to add it to what we have and we practically compelled the CCB to act on our reports.
Did your petition help secure or assist the independence of the judiciary, or you think it actually reduced it?
We know that fighting corruption is not easy. It's a double-edged sword. As you're fighting corruption, corruption is fighting you back. Okay? But let me tell you, we are so proud of the job we did.
Okay, that's actually, I wanted to actually ask you now. Onnoghen lost his job, and many Nigerians also lost faith, one way or the other, in the entire process. Some criticized the government, some criticized you. And I want you to look at the microphone, look at Nigerians in the face.
Yes.
Knowing everything that you know now, was whistleblowing in the public interest your main trust, or do you wish you never filed that application?
Me, as an individual, and then the NGO that I manage as executive secretary, if we ever do things that will come back to regret, then that means we are not capable. You don't just do things. Why should I regret a wonderful job we did? I'm not taking it personal against Justice Onnoghen. It was unfortunate. It was unfortunate. But the fight against corruption shouldn't be an exception. I think that should be the lesson from what we did. I still ask the question, is it the personality that was involved that is the problem? Or has there been an opportunity for people to scrutinize the outcome of our investigation? Because it is the basis of the outcome of our investigation that the CCB, acted on. So I want whoever, in whichever way, that thinks that what we did was manipulated, should first of all go back, find out what were those things that we discovered that we sent to the appropriate authority to act on. We don't witch hunt individuals. We don't. That is not. Retired Justice Onnoghen's issue came, was so popular because of the personality. There are other of such that we have done. People, high-profile people, organizations.
These are not in the public?
Of course, it depends on interest. And like you said, it was within the political, era. Or people look at, I think, the timing But there are more serious,
Can you just
high profile.
can you just name one of the high profile cases you have done outside of the Onnoghen petition? Just one.
And then you want me to, you want me once more to go into problems with individuals. Whatever we have done. It is left for agencies responsible
To follow up.
follow up. Nigerians should. You see, sometimes I feel that we don't even know the source of our problem in this country. The way I look at it is like Nigerians. We all cry every day, but when you ask an average Nigerian, what are the problems? Look at politics today. People, share opinion based on their affiliations. This one is from my area. This one is from my religion. This one. We don't collectively look at our problems and come up with a solution.
Let me ask this. At some point in time, in the course of the work of ARDI, that is your organization, you cried out that you were not safe and that you didn't feel safe in the Nigerian environment because people were threatening you. You probably got some security protection. Did your organization, ARDI, get any? I know how NGOs get funding.
Yes.
Did you get any kind of support? Did you, as an individual, also get support at that time?
That was even the question I expected you would have asked me earlier. That is why it is difficult for most NGOs to function in Nigeria. Everything we have done within ARDI has been personally funded. You see, it's just like a project. ARDI is my pet project. I founded ARDI. It was out of, how do I put it? I funded most of ARDI's project. So I wish organizations can assist. But the moment you speak out...
Did you get any support from individuals, government, or any organization at that particular point in time?
That's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Even some of the security agencies were angry with us because some of them have the information and they didn't act on it. But when we got the information, we acted on it. So, in fact, let me tell you, my life was threatened, even till date. Even till date, some people will see me, "Oh, are you Dennis?" They will go back to that issue. You see them challenging me. Do you know, I lost a relationship in my family. The thing didn't even end even in my family. I lost a relationship that I cherished from my childhood. One of my cousins, a cousin sister, okay? Because of that incident, he fell out with me. We parted ways because that was the much she understood. It was, I don't know. People misunderstood the situation.
At that time, did the government provide you with security?
Funny thing, that's where it is most painful to me. People try to insinuate that the government sponsored what we did.
Yes.
Till date, not even a commendation letter has come. I never expected the government, but maybe some of the agencies, like some of the anti-corruption agencies, I see people being honored and things like that. Not even a commendation letter has come to ARDI for a job.
Are you disappointed in that area?
I am not disappointed because I understand the society. It's the society we found ourselves.
Now, let's just ask this going to the last one. What is the one thing from your experience, from the work that you did, the work ARDI did, what is the one thing that Nigerians don't understand about the Onnoghen saga?
Well, like I said, I don't want to still personalize this issue. But one thing I'll tell Nigerians is that always investigate before you draw conclusions. The job we did it in good faith. If you think there's something you did not understand about the job we did, carry out a personal investigation and see if our findings were justifiable for CCB to have prosecuted Justice Onnoghen. Play down on it. Didn't allow us to. As usual, we bring out the report of our investigation. We submit it to appropriate authorities. But they will see that. And when you ask too many questions, you will be threatened. So to fight corruption in Nigeria is a very difficult thing. Very, very difficult. Does the government have the political will? Because that's the first thing. If you may remember the case of Obla. Obla cried out. That part of his persecution was on the basis of some of the investigations he did under SPIP. And the authorities that should, support him, rather, how do I put it? Quarreled with him. They told him that he overstepped his bound. In fighting corruption, should there be limitation? Or should there be limitation in terms of boundaries? But it's only in our society that you are fighting corruption. Government will tell you, don't go to this area, leave this area. So I just,
So do you have, to that extent, do you have regrets entering into this very dangerous field of fighting corruption?
No, I cannot have regret because it was personal conviction. That's why I don't regret it. I can go to any part of the world. I'll be bold to beat my chest and say, I am so person. I fought. I think if it were areas like the Western world, you'll be appreciated more. Because that is where things are done without sentiment. They look at merits of the things you are doing. But in this part of the world, we don't care whether corruption is killing us as long as it is our own person that is there. But I always look at things and smile. Look at what is happening in Nigeria. Anyway, it's unfortunate. I don't have regrets.
Okay. Now, my last question for you is your organization, ARDI, and are you as active as you were active active now? Is your organization as active now as you were in the past?
Yes, we are ever active. Though, after that incident...
You were discouraged?
I was discouraged, but not just that. I had some health challenge, so I've been away for a long time. I just came in and maybe have to...
I can imagine those who are watching you say, maybe you were not paid properly. You didn't get remunerated properly. That's why you are not as active as you were before.
The point is, if what I did was based on my expectations for payment, I'm not a small boy. Then we will sit down and talk and bargain, and you will pay me before I'll do it. I know what is involved in the fight against corruption. Like I told you, it was something I did out of my personal, evolution. So if anybody is thinking in that direction, so be it to them. Because Nigerians, that is the problem we have with people always believe that everything people do in this country is because of the benefits. Most people don't believe that people can be genuine. And it's a big problem to us.
All right. We must thank you, Dennis Aghanya. Thank you for the answers, and thank you for gracing Deep Insight podcast. Thank you for giving us time to discuss some of these issues you thought you would never discuss with people. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the privilege.
Listeners, your turn. Was this anti-corruption or political strategy? If this episode gave you context, please share it. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episodes. I am Augustine Agbonsuremi. Thanks for listening. Deep Insight, the inside story, analyzing Nigeria, one conversation at a time.